Okay, my name is Mary McEvoy. I'm a researcher here at Teagasc Moorepark and focusing on the area of grass cultivars. So this Grass Economic Index is a new development here from Teagasc Moorepark, which aims to apply economic values to the traits of importance from a grass production perspective. The idea of the Grass Economic Index is to allow farmers to select grass cultivars with greater ease based on identifying which varieties will suit their particular requirements. So within the index, we have a number of key traits which are important within an Irish grass-based production system. These traits include dry matter production, broken down into spring, summer and autumn dry matter production, first and second cut silage, persistency, which is quantified on a per hectare per year basis, and also quality across the months of April to July inclusive. Now these traits can be used similar to as sub-indices as we have in the EBI to select cultivars for particular requirements. So what we've done is we've quantified the economic value of each individual trait. And for example, if we look at the individual trait of dry matter yield broken down into spring, summer and autumn, you can see we have a much higher economic value for spring dry matter yield. Each additional kilo grown during the spring period is worth an additional 15 cents compared to each additional kilo grown during the summer period, which is only 3 cents per kilo dry matter produced. The reason for this difference is obviously in Ireland we have a deficit of grass at the shoulders of the season, in particular in the spring period. During the main grazing season we have surplus grass already in the system. Therefore, there is little benefit to growing extra grass during this period. Okay? Whereas compared to the shoulders, extra grass can offset the requirement for silage and concentrate costs. So what we've done within the index is we've quantified the base level of performance for each individual trait, and then we apply the economic value. So this value is applied to the difference between the base performance of each trait and the performance for each individual cultivar in order to identify the total economic merit of each individual cultivar within the recommended list. And this allows us then rank cultivars based on their total economic performance. So if we look at this example which we have here, we can see two cultivars, cultivar A and B, and we also have the economic performance in each of the sub-indices. So this value here is quantified in euros per hectare per year. So cultivar A is giving us an extra 125 euros per hectare per year compared to the base level of production. Cultivar B is slightly lower for total dry matter yield, only giving us an extra 115 euros per hectare per year. These two cultivars are similar in terms of the performance with quality, slightly better quality performance of cultivar A compared to cultivar B. And you can see we have negatives here on persistency. So both cultivars are slightly worse than the average in terms of persistency, with B falling down more so than cultivar A in this particular trait. And then again, if we look at silage, cultivar A is minus 17 euros per hectare per year for silage. Cultivar B is plus 29 euros per hectare per year for silage. So if we're identifying cultivars first say for a silage scenario, we increase the focus we're placing on silage, and therefore we're more likely to select cultivar B compared to cultivar A in this scenario. If on the other hand we're selecting cultivars for a grazing system, we'll eliminate silage. It's obviously of lesser importance. We'll increase the focus we have on total dry matter yield and quality, and in this scenario cultivar A would actually be more appropriate for a grazing paddock. So we can use the sub-indices to select individual cultivars based on particular requirements. The index will be available in 2014, so it will be released in 2014, and at this point farmers can use the index to select cultivars when they're selecting varieties for reseeding, and it'll increase the information they have on how much one cultivar can benefit them over another when choosing cultivars for reseeding. Another aspect of the work we're doing here in Moorepark is we have an on-farm cultivar evaluation trial. This trial is investigating the dry matter yield and persistency of perennial ryegrass on commercial farms. At the moment we have about 70 farms involved in this study. These farms are dispersed around the country, and I've highlighted a number of the locations of the farms involved at the moment. Every farm, when they become involved in the study, are asked to sow a minimum of 2 cultivars. Torella, which is a late heading diploid, is one of our control cultivars in this study. So Torella is sown out on every single farm. And then, depending on how long farms have been involved in the study and the number of paddocks they're reseeding, each farmer then has between 1 and up to 8 other varieties sown out as monoculture at the moment. So basically every farmer has between 2 and 9 cultivars sown out in paddocks, and we're evaluating the total dry matter production and also the persistency of these cultivars. It's a long-term study. It began in 2010 and it will continue for at least the next 10 or 15 years. Okay, so just key points. The economic index will be available in spring 2014, and it'll allow farmers select cultivars based on the economic contribution each individual cultivar can make to their system. Okay, thank you very much.